Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing well today. And today we are going to discuss a very interesting case study. When we talk about operating any organization, it is not always limited to just profits and sales turnover and buying and selling of products, etc., etc. But when we talk about operating an organization holistically, human resource management plays a very crucial role. When we say that employees are our assets, the occupational health and safety of our employees plays a very, very important role while operating any organization. There's also certifications like ISO 45001 that talks about specifically occupational health and safety of all the workers and employees working within the organization. Workplace safety is all about keeping everyone protected and healthy on the job. It boosts morale, keeps productivity high, and prevents accidents that could disrupt work. Plus, it also shows that the company truly cares about its people, their employees, and as they say, safe work is equal to always happy work. So, occupational health and safety plays an extremely important role. And so, today we are going to discuss a case study named Safety at Kazakh Air Base that specifically focuses on the safety and narrowing down to zero accidents in a workplace. So, let's get started. At the end of the staff meeting, the new commandant of Kazakh Tactical Air Base asked two of his officers to stay behind, his chief of operations and his chief safety officer. "I know," he said, "that Kazakh has the best safety record in Tactical Air Command, but I'm not satisfied. I am to run a base on which there are zero accidents." "Sir," said the chief of operations, "we try, but fighter airplanes are inherently dangerous." "They should be dangerous to the enemy," and snapped the commandant, "not to our men." "We have three approaches," said the chief safety inspector, "and we might intensify all three of them. We study the equipment, of course. We have no control over design and manufacturing, but when we find something that might cause an accident or find that something has caused one, we make sure that it is redesigned. We train and we train and we train. And when there is any mishap, even when that doesn't injure anyone, we have a thorough inquiry and, if necessary, change the method of operations or the equipment and of course recommend appropriate punishment if the mishap is the result of sloppy or careless operations. We can intensify our work. I, for one, have always asked for more training time, but I doubt that we will get a great deal out of more intensive efforts. This is already the most safety conscious base I know." The commandant was not impressed, however, and asked both men to come up with specific proposals. And he repeated his intention to run a base with zero accidents. After a week, the two officers reported. "I had suggest a permanent safety competition," said the chief of operations, "as one approach. Post on the bulletin boards the names of the units that have no accidents in a month. Recognize their performance, reward them. A few extra passes often do wonders. And make it clear that recommendation or promotion goes to officers and non-commissioned officers who stand out in a safety competition. At the same time," continued the chief of operations, "we might borrow from industry. I have few friends at General Motors who tell me that they run plants with zero accidents by relieving from responsibility pending investigation any supervisor who has even the slightest accident. Even if there is no injury, they also relieve his boss until the inquiry is concluded. If the supervisor has second accident within 12 months period, they remove him and demote his boss. The only excuse they give, if the excuse is equipment failure over which the supervisor had no control. Not bad, said the commandant. Although I have had to go upstairs to get the authority to remove the demote people. But perhaps there is some other way to accomplish the same end. Sir, said the chief safety officer, I am impressed by my colleagues' ideas and think we might try them, but I have 3 other proposals. 1. We might systematically encourage accident anticipation reports. We have a suggestion system that includes suggestions on safe operations and it works well. But we might ask each commander and each supervisor to give us a monthly report on everything within his authority that might pose even the slightest potential safety hazard, whether equipment, operations, or the way we staff to train. My second possible suggestion would be for regular monthly safety meetings in each area of the base devoted to the question, what can each of us do to make the work totally safe? And my third suggestion, we might have one presentation at each of these meetings in which one commander or supervisor reports on what methods he has found effective in making his operation accident proof, and brainstorm within internal teams for zero accidents. Do you think you could do these things without running up costs to the point where we get Washington on our back and without impairing the combat effectiveness of the command? Asked the commandant. Both men thought it could be done, it is possible, or at least there was enough probability to try each approach experimentally in a part of the base. Now, the questions to think upon from this case study that we just discussed is, first, what do you think of these 5 proposals? What principles in managing people does each represent? How likely is each to leave and have an impact? Which are likely to be welcomed by the personnel on the base? Are any likely to be resisted out of the proposals that are proposed by both the personnels? What does each assume about the causes of accidents? Let me know in the comment section below. And that's it for today's case study. I hope you got some insights, some learnings out of this case study that specifically focused on zero accidents and safety at workplace, especially if you are working in a manufacturing industry or a plant that are prone to accidents for the workers and the personnel within the organization. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and stay tuned for many more such interesting case studies, articles, stories, and my thoughts related to management. I'll see you next week.